What's up, Ennis?
What's up? What's up?
You got an echo.
Okay, let me share the live first, and I'll get down. Okay.
All right, sure.
Okay. Thank you for hosting the live. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
All right, I'm gonna drop it real quick. Okay.
All right. Hey, Rabbi Asher, you're requesting up, but this live is actually going to be a formal debate between Anis and Nosce, so I'm not accepting any guests except him, Nosce, and
Like the
his
live,
moderator.
let's go. Like the live. Come on, let's get the live going. Let's go, guys. Let's go.
All right, I shared it with Nosce. If everybody can start liking and sharing, please tap the screen.
Hold it down. Share the live to everybody. Let's get this going. Come on, guys. Come on. Let's get it going. Do you go live often?
Yeah, I go live quite a bit. I do more debates within Christianity. I don't really debate outside of Christianity. I really
How many
don't.
views do you get on average?
200.
Okay, that's it. Okay.
Really depends on the topic, to be honest with you. If you're talking Trinity oneness, it goes crazy.
Bro, who said it's at 10:30 Eastern? Who the hell said that?
Not me. Everybody I told was
What the heck?
right now.
Can you make a sticker and that says like the debates now and like put it on the screen?
Yeah, give me a second.
Thank you, bro. Cover it but cover the time. Cover the part that says time so they just don't look at that at all.
All right, give me a second.
Also, can I request for you to take everyone's mod that already has mod? So like the debate, they don't like, mute some people without like.
I already adjusted all my mods to only have to not have any power to mute or to block right as of right now.
So what can they do then?
Well, that's what I'm going to decide with you. Like, who do you want? What I'll permit. Like, let's say this way, I'll allow like somebody on the Christian side to be a mod to be able to mute. Nobody's blocking though, just to mute for the whole live, and then you could pick somebody on your side, whoever you want, and I'll have those two mods go at it.
Can you drop the guy next to me so we can make like a one-on-one?
Yeah. He's gonna be one of the Christians, not Christians, but one of the persons who will be moderated, make sure everything is fair, muting anybody who is
We already have a
out of
moderator.
line. Huh?
We already agreed that Central Dao was going to be the moderator.
Yeah, on the panel. I'm talking about in the chat.
Who? Simon?
Yes, he'll be one of them.
In the chat?
Yeah, in the chat. He'll be one of the moderators in the chat.
Can we just have one Christian, one Muslim?
That's fine, but he's going to be the quote unquote Christian one.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm the enforcer.
All right. Can you drop from the panel with all due respect? Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All right. Can you mod? There's a guy in the comments, right? His name is Okay, let me see, guys. Who's a good mod? Can someone like tell me?
Effect stickers.
Okay, you see this guy with the big fat green guy on his screen?
Hold on, give me just a second. Let me do this. Debate is now.
Put it on the part that says time, so the time just get crossed out.
I can't go any further down than that, though. That's the problem.
That's fine. Okay. Okay. Can you mod the guy? His name is Yusuf.
Yeah. Is that put Yusuf? Put like a 5 in the put a number in the thing in the chat.
Okay.
That's him, Yusuf.
Rashad.
Yeah, that guy.
Give him mod.
All right, cool. Add moderator. He can mute, and
he
that's
can mute, but don't let him block.
Yeah, he can mute and he can't manage guests, but he can't block. But he can mute any comments that are offensive to you. And like I said before, I mean, listen, I'm more than happy to host this debate.
Okay.
I'm not going to unmute at all unless you ask me to intervene. If you feel like Central's being unfair at any given moment, or if
Can you share? Can you, everyone go to Malik's live? Tell them to end the live. Tell them right now. Tell them go.
All right, it's 95 people in here, 96, and y'all please tap the screen and share with at least 10, 15 people. Let's keep going.
Yep. Let's get it going, guys. Come on.
If everybody can mass share this to Nosce, because it's already almost 8 o'clock, and like I said, I like to do stuff timely, bro. I'm not trying to play these games. Let's get right on it.
Okay. Guys, double tap. Let's go. Triple tap. You were ordered to mod me, brother. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's okay. I mean, Yusuf's a good mod, so it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, we don't need a bunch of mods. We just need 2 mods, 1 on each side, so we know if somebody was muted unfairly, we know who it was by which side got modded or muted. It's very easy. It's not hard.
Guys, keep tapping the live. Why are we only at 2.k likes? Let's go. Let's go.
Guys, pull out those massagers and put your finger on it. Let's get it. 5,000 likes each.
Guys, come on. Share the live to everybody. Let's go. Share the live to everybody. If everyone double taps here, we will have at least 10k likes in the next minute. If every 137, all of you guys double tap, we will have a great amount of likes. Thank you for the roses, by the way, to start it off, inshallah. Yes, just keep double tapping. It works, yes. We got to get it going.
Hey, did you share it to Central? Like, where's Central at, man?
Okay. Okay. Where's Central at? Okay. Okay, but you got to get Nosce, though. You know what I'm saying? So
I just texted him. I literally just texted him directly, the live. Like, he needs to come too. Like, I don't know what's going on.
okay, we can give it like 10 minutes. It's fine. Like,
for
the
sure.
debate won't even be longer than an hour, bro. Like, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be like.
I think that's a good debate. Them long extended debates, everybody gets bored and it's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, bro. Sometimes they get too long. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you fall asleep and then wake up and then like, what happened?
Yeah. Dude, Central be doing them 30-minute intros.
Oh yeah, yep. Mm-hmm. All right, there's no say.
Okay.
So now we're just missing your mod.
Yeah, he's coming. He's coming.
The only mod should be you.
What?
The mod is Dre.
No, we agree.
No,
We didn't agree on that. We
No, no,
agreed
no.
on
No,
that.
no, no say.
No, we agreed.
Hold
Central's gonna be-
on. Anis, hold on. So I'm here as a. I just told Anis like I'm not gonna unmute
Central has the
unless.
timer.
And when
He has the timer.
yeah, for sure. Hold on, give me a second. Just let me explain real quick.
All right.
So if I told Anis the same thing. If he feels like he's being unfair, hey, you can summon me. I'll jump in. Same thing with you, Nosce. If you feel some kind of way. At the end of the day, this is my house, and I'm allowing Central to time it. And basically, all he's doing is just controlling the time. That's basically it. He has no input either. He shouldn't put no kind of input whatsoever.
Okay.
So we're both just bystanders.
Yeah, but somebody has to moderate the debate if they're doing cross-exams.
That would be Dre.
When we're doing cross exams, the host can do that.
Dre literally said yesterday he doesn't like moderate debates.
Wait, Dre, can you mod the live during the debate?
Yeah, it's fine. Like, listen, all we're doing, all me and Central Dawa's job is to make sure that the cross examinations are going according to plan. That's
Yeah,
it.
Central's
Like, we're not
gonna
to
have the
input nothing.
timer. Central's
Yeah.
gonna have the timer on his screen.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, Central, like if Anis, I know I'm not supposed to unmute at all. You're technically not supposed to unmute at all to input, unless they have some kind of qualm and they need us to intervene. Then that's the only time we will jump in. Other than that, we have no business saying anything or giving any alley oops. We're just
Oh,
gonna watch.
can we give it 7 minutes so more people can roll in?
Yeah, that's
No,
fine. No
why
problem.
do we already have a Quran verse on the screen?
Because I
Oh,
can
I
put
don't
it up
know.
if I want to. What's your problem?
Okay, man. All right. Just,
Are you nervous?
no, yes, I'm very nervous.
Okay, why are you nervous? There's nothing to be nervous about.
You're too scary, bro.
Okay, but I'm not scared. You shouldn't be nervous.
Okay. I need to, I need you to teach me to not be nervous.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so just know, guys, I don't do name calling, ad hominems, all that stuff. Y'all can go somewhere else with all that nonsense. Y'all
Great,
can go
let's
to a
be
different
clear.
live
Any
over there.
blaspheming on any sides equals conceding the debate. Any unmuting during the time, except cross exams, is conceding the debate. Okay,
That's fine.
I'm not taking any blaspheme. I'm not taking any interruptions. That concedes the debate automatically. And if you unmute, which I know you won't, that concedes the debate for Nosce as well.
Yeah, right.
Central unmutes. That's going to be a concession on my debate. Central don't unmute.
Right.
So the format's going to be 10-minute intros, 7-minute rebuttals, cross exams, 3 Q&As. Sorry, a Q&A with 3 questions each. That's the format of the debates.
All right. Let me turn my computer on.
Alrighty. Nosce, would you like to go first in the intro or what?
You're the affirmative, so you go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay. Let me get the clock.
And Nosce, just to be clear, in the cross exam, you are not allowed to introduce new contradictions. That's against the rules.
When do we agree on that?
No, that's just how it works. Essentially, can you
No,
explain?
if I have questions that I haven't addressed, if I'm cross-examining, asking questions, then I should be allowed to do that.
Yeah. Cross exams, they have to pertain to what was going on in the intro or the rebuttals. You cannot make or create new contradictions.
What is this debate on?
Okay, the debate is which book contains contradictions, Quran or the Bible.
Okay, so if I don't say anything in my introduction, but during the cross-exam, I'll bring up another point that is a
You
contradiction.
can't start new arguments in the cross exam. Sandro, can you explain it to him?
I know how cross-exams work.
No, you don't, because you can't bring new claims in cross exams.
Okay, if it's showing a contradiction in the Quran, is it a new argument? No, it's not.
No, say you can include all your contradictions in your intro, but you can't.
I can do my side of the debate how I want to. I don't know why
No,
you
you
think
can't.
you can.
You can't make new argument that concedes the
Okay,
debate.
cool. We'll see. All right,
Okay,
go for it.
you can.
We'll
Okay,
see. We'll
how many
see.
contradictions can we bring?
You tried to limit to 5, but
Yeah, 5. I'm not doing 20.
I didn't agree. I didn't agree to that.
Yeah, because you're so passive. Can you give us one? We're not doing 20. We're not machine gunning. We're not
Start
dish
your
gunning.
intro.
Sorry.
Yeah, guys. Usually how it works is like you lay in your opening, you lay out like your argument, right? And that is your argument, right?
Exactly.
You can't. It's like when me and Albie debated Daniel 2 and 7, right? Like in my rebuttal, I would address anything he brought up, but in the cross exam, it's like, why would I bring up Daniel chapter 5 or Daniel chapter 10 or Daniel 11? It's like bringing in new arguments, even though it's on the same topic, right? That's not what you usually do in like formal debates.
We're going to limit it to 5 contradictions if Nosce is okay with that, because Gish galloping will destroy the debate, and it's just going to be about who can spit more contradictions.
All right, so I'm going to use my 10 minutes and use how many ever it is to lay out my claim.
You can't do that. You can't do that. That's not allowed. You can't Gish gallop your way to win. You can't do that. I won't be able to address all your contradictions depending on how much you bring in an amount of like 7 minutes. That's impossible.
That sounds like a you problem. You did the challenging, so that's a you problem.
I made it clear 5 contradictions, and you can't agree to 5. Simply because
Did I ever agree to 5 contradictions?
You didn't agree to anything. You didn't agree to
Did I ever agree to 5 contradictions?
So what do you want to agree with now? Because we're not doing
what I agree on is you present your side, I'll present my side, and then we'll go
can
from there.
you organize this? Because this is not okay. We can't do infinite contradictions. That we can't solve all of them in 7 minutes. That's impossible. You can't go on answering Islam.
Let's stick to. I know. So I think that's
3
fair.
to 5. Can we focus on? Because you only have 7-minute rebuttals.
Give me a second. Let me just explain. So yeah, no. So I think if we go infinite like contradictions, bro, we'll be here all night on both sides. Let's not do
Exactly.
that.
I've only had 10 minutes. I only have 10 minutes to lay out my claim. So it can't be a million. It can't be a million.
Okay. So just stick it if you can. I think 5 is fair. That way we can hit those top 5 instead of just like doing a whole bunch. Because I'm telling you, that's not going to be edifying to anybody. And on top of that, it's going to take way too long, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just 2 more minutes, guys. We're gonna start the debate. I'll be starting with the intro. Central, can you get the timer ready?
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, just to repeat what's gonna happen in the intro, right? It's going to be like 10-minute intro, 7-minute rebuttal, 7-minute cross exams, rapid fire, nonstop. Like the time doesn't stop, is what I'm saying. And then you have 3 Q&As on both sides.
All right, I just cleared out all the moderators. There's only Yusuf and Simon Barkova are the 2 moderators in the chat. Central Dawa, you have mod power, so you can make big screen, little screen, and I have mod powers. The 2 debaters do not have. Neither one of them have mods. Just so you know. So it's only.
If he brings more than 5,
right now. Huh?
hey, Dre, if he brings more than 5 contradictions, I will only choose 5 to actually refute. Okay, I'm gonna make that clear.
I think that's also fair. So even if you brought him 10, he should only have to respond to 5. You know, whatever 5 he wants. All right, cool.
Guys, also, when it's down to like your last minute and whatever it is, like whether it's your intro or your rebuttal, I'm not going to come off of mute. I will wave my hand in front of my screen to let you know, to signal you that there's 1 minute left. Just to be fair, I don't want to come off of mute, you know?
Yeah, that's good. That way people don't lose their train of thought. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Everybody, please tap the screen. Let's run it up. We can get at least double the people we have in here. So if everybody shares and brings one more person in, we can start ASAP. So let's do that.
Okay, intros are 10 minutes, you guys said, right?
Yeah, 10-minute intro, 7-minute rebuttals back and forth, and then 3 questions each.
Yeah. No, don't forget the cross exam.
Yeah, the cross exam. Sorry, my bad.
The chat wants cameras on. Cause, do you care?
All right.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yeah. Are you okay with having our cameras on?
Yeah, I don't care. You guys can turn on your cameras. I don't mind.
Okay.
I think let's get like 280 and then we can start, yeah?
All right, sounds good. All right,
That's like a decent.
let's get at least. All right, what's 277? Everybody tap the screen. Let's get to 30K likes ASAP before we start. That should be easy. That's light work.
So guys, remember, I'm going to go like this when it's down to your last minute. So pay attention to my hand waving. I don't know if Nosce wants to turn his camera. I don't know. That's up to him.
Yeah, if he wants, he can do it.
Yeah. All right, we're at 287.
All right, you want me to start, host?
It's up to Central. I'm gonna give you the big screen.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Anis, you good?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الأمين وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اتبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين أما بعد. All praise to Allah. He is the most merciful, the most gracious, and His companions, may peace be upon them all, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May God sanctify those who follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Today we are having a discussion on which book is contradictory, which book has contradictions. And the alluding fact is that we know that Nosce took this debate knowing that if I did find a contradiction, it would be detrimental to his faith. Now, what is a contradiction? A contradiction in where there is a P and not P. Contradiction defines as 2 things that cannot be true at the same time. That is what a contradiction is. So when you bring 2 statements that don't contradict, i.e. they can be true at the same time, that is not a contradiction. And I want to let everyone know in the community, inshallah ta'ala, that this debate is simply for academic purposes This is not a debate to prove that I'm right, prove that he's wrong, or just to like get some gotcha moments. No, we don't do that over here. We are showing how the Bible has contradictions, and on the contrary, the Quran is infallible. Okay, we will be doing a good job of that, inshallah ta'ala, with the power of Allah, inshallah. So let's present the first contradiction, inshallah. So the first contradiction, or the first verse that you find, is located in John chapter 1, verse 40 through verse 41. It goes as Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, was one of the two who heard what John had said and who had followed Jesus. The first thing Andrew did was to find his brother Simon and tell him, "We have found the Messiah." Very clear, very clear. Key point. Andrew told his brother that he found the Christ. Now let's look at the other verse. According to the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 16 through 17, we read, Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Then we read right here, Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but my Father in heaven." Oh wait, so are we reading right here? Does it say like John chapter 1, verse 40 through 41? Did the Father reveal this? Or are we reading here that in fact that Matthew chapter 16, verse 16 through 17, it says that blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this is not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but my Father in heaven. The reconciliation of this would be to say that Simon, Peter, is the Father, right? You have to reconcile. Did the Father tell them, or did Andrew tell Simon? Okay, sorry, is Andrew the Father, or how would you reconcile this? Let's go to the next contradiction. We go the famous one, my favorite one, Matthew chapter 16, verse 4. A wicked and adulterous generation looks for a sign, but none will be given it except the sign of Jonah. Jesus then left them and went away. According to Mark chapter 8, verse 12, he sighed deeply and said, "Why does this generation ask for a sign? Truly I tell you, no sign will be given to it." Now, this is the problem with this passage, right? These passages. Mark makes it clear. No sign will be given. Zero. Zilch. He says, "Why does this generation ask for a sign? Truly, I tell you, no sign will be given to it." Matthew here creates the contradiction. He says a wicked and adulterous generation looks for a sign, but none of it will be given to it except Jonah. So is Jonah a sign or no? I don't get it. And you cannot reconcile this by saying the chronological order doesn't work, because the passages of the actual the Gospels that are pertaining to this are they are chronological. They are in chronology. Sorry, they follow one after the other, and I can demonstrate that using the passages. So did they get a sign or no? Next verse. According to Genesis chapter 22, verse 14, it says, "So Abraham called that place the Lord will provide. And to this day it is said, on the mountain of the Lord it will be provided." Lord here means Yahweh. Go to Exodus chapter 6, verse 3. It says, "And I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by the name of God Almighty. But my name Jehovah was I not known to them." Wait a second. So when God here is talking, he said that Yahweh, or Jehovah, whatever, it was not revealed to Abraham, Isaac, or Jacob. You go and look at Genesis chapter 22, verse 14. You read that Abraham is calling, he literally, look, it says right here. So Abraham called that place, the Lord will provide. Yahweh. That's what Hebrew says. So how did Abraham know the name Yahweh? According to Exodus, he doesn't know the name Yahweh because God says right here, he didn't reveal the name Yahweh to them. Let's go to the next contradiction. According to Luke chapter 1, verse 6, Luke chapter 1, verse 5 through 6, it says, "There was in the days of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest named Zacharias, of the course of Abia, and his wife was of the daughters of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth. And they were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord blameless." I.e., this was done through the work, through the laws, right? Because it says that they were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments. So following all the commandments, also emphasizing that they would follow all the ordinances of the Lord blameless. They would do it perfectly by following all the commandments. Go to Galatians chapter 2, verse 21. Paul creates the contradiction here. It says that I do not set aside the grace of God, for if righteousness could be gained through the law, Christ died for nothing. So here, we see right here, Paul says whoever sets the grace of God aside and says that righteousness could be gained through following the law, Christ died for nothing. Hold on one second. Let's go back to Luke chapter 1, verse 5 through 6. It says that they were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord. These, right here, Luke is referring to where it says right here, walking all the commandments of ordinances as laws. These are laws. Commandments are laws. But Paul says you cannot be righteous by just following law, because then that would be that Christ died for nothing. That's the contradiction. Now, the last contradiction that I'll present, right? It is in Matthew, the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 27, verse 9 through 10. It says very clearly, then what was spoken by Jeremiah, the prophet, was fulfilled. They took the 30 pieces of silver, the price set on him by the people of Israel, and they used them to buy the potter's field, as the Lord commanded me. Wait a second. Now, what's a contradiction again, guys? A P and not P. The claim here is that Jeremiah prophesied, right? Sorry, that there was a prophecy fulfilled in Jeremiah. So here's making the claim that it's fulfilled in Jeremiah. And the second claim is that they took the 30 pieces of silver, the price set on them by the people of Israel. Wait a second. Where is this in Jeremiah? We don't see this prophecy anywhere in Jeremiah creating a P and not P. A claim that this exists in Jeremiah, we go to Jeremiah, it doesn't exist. That is a P and not P. So where is this passage located? I don't see this passage anywhere. So now that we have done all of the contradictions, let's go back and let's just get like the surface level information about each one. John chapter 1, verse 40 through 41, it says that Simon Peter's brother literally was told by Andrew. Andrew told Simon that he found the Messiah, or we have found the Messiah. Matthew says, according to Jesus, blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you but by flesh and blood, but my Father in heaven. So Andrew here, according to the passage right here, is the Father, because he told Simon, his brother. Mark 8:12 and Matthew 16:4, was it a sign or no sign? We want to know, right? Now let's go to Genesis 22:14. Again, let's cover it all. It says that Abraham called the place, the Lord will provide. Lord here in Genesis. In Genesis, when it says Lord, in the Hebrew, it's very specific. It's referring to Yahweh. Great. So Abraham knew the name Yahweh. Now let's go to Exodus 6:3. It says, and I appeared unto Abraham. Wait a second, we're just talking about Abraham. It says that I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by the name of God Almighty. But my name Yahweh was I not known to them. Hold on. How did he, i.e. Abraham, know the name Yahweh, and he named that place, or a place, the Lord will provide, i.e. Yahweh? Next, let's go to Luke chapter 1, verse 5 through 6. Yes. Now, I'm just going to cover the surface level, not the whole thing, of course, right? They were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments and ordinances. They are following the law. Okay? They are following the law as Jesus tells them to do, of course. Okay? Then we go to Galatians. Paul says that I do not set aside the grace of God. For if righteousness could be gained through law, Christ died for nothing. I.e., if Christ died and you think that faith is gained by works or righteousness is gained through law, Christ died for nothing. So according to Paul, Luke chapter 1, verse 5 through 6 is wrong, because it says right here that they were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord blameless. And Matthew chapter 27, verse 9 through 10, it says very clearly that Jeremiah has a prophecy in there that was fulfilled. But where is the Jeremiah of where it says they took the 30 pieces of silver, the price set on him by the people of Israel? Where is that? That's a P and not P. The claim is that there is a prophecy here, and here it doesn't exist.
Time. Nosce, whenever you're ready. Nosce, you're on mute, bro.
All right.
I'm gonna start your time in 3, 2, 1, go.
So we're going to look at this verse in the Quran. It says, then do you not reflect upon the Quran? If it had been from any other than Allah, they would have found within it much contradictions. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you contradictions in the Quran, whether it be historical or within the Quran itself. So the first thing I'm going to address is Surah 7, Ayah 157. It says that your prophet, Muhammad, can be found in the Torah or the Injil. If you can't find Muhammad in the Torah or the Injil, then you have a false book. So let's just go over a few things. In Surah 29, I think it is, off the top of my head. I may have to look it up. It's not a big thing. Let me look. Give me 1 second, guys. I didn't even prepare for this, to be honest. I'll start with this one. In Surah 12, 20, it talks about dirhams, which are coins, and it puts it in the time frame of Joseph. It's Jacob's 12 sons. One is Joseph. That was 1800 years before Christ. But these coins that it's referred to were not produced until 661 AD. That is a discrepancy. Surah 17, Ayah 1. It says that he took his servant from the mosque, Haram, to the furthest mosque, which is Al-Aqsa. Now, they will say that a mosque is just a praying place, but the most notable use of it is an actual building. That is the definition of it. So if he took Muhammad on his donkey, took a night journey from Haram to Al-Aqsa, then that would be a contradiction, because the second temple was destroyed in 70 AD, and Al-Aqsa Mosque was not built until 705 AD. So there would be a contradiction, because Muhammad died in 632 AD. Allah in Surah 9, Ayah 30, Allah condemns Ezra and all of the rabbinical writings. They say that they take Ezra as a son of God. And in 31, he goes on to say they have taken their rabbis and monks as lords besides Allah and the Messiah. It is talking about the rabbinical writings of Ezra. These are what the Jews clung to. The contradiction in this is while Allah is condemning this rabbinical writings, in the same breath, he plagiarizes from those rabbinical writings in Surah 6, Ayah 75 through 78. And you'll be able to find these in The Legend of the Jews, Volume 1, Chapter 5. I hope my friend can show me how this is not a contradiction. Let's see. Give me 1 second. How much time do I got? 6 minutes? That's way too long. Sorry, guys. I knew this got to be simple and it wouldn't have to take anything on them. I think it's Surah 9, if it's not, or Surah 6, 120 through 129. It talks about Pharaoh and Moses. And what is said is that they would cut off the feet and the hands and then crucify them. For one, crucifixion doesn't happen by cutting off the hands and feet. A crucifixion was specifically designed for nails to go in the hands and nails to go in the feet. And it is to cause somebody to have to lift up just to get a breath. It is an excruciating suffering. But the Quran makes a statement that during the time of Moses and Pharaoh, that crucifixions existed. Well, that is a historical error. No one can provide historical evidence that crucifixions were available at that time. In fact, crucifixions didn't exist until 600 BC by the Persians, and then it was perfected by the Romans. So Allah got it wrong. How do you have crucifixions if it's not invented until 600 BC and Moses lived 1400 BC? What else do I want to tag you on? How many was that, Dre?
I believe that was 2 or 3.
Let me look. So in
Central, was
Sahih,
that 2 or 3? I don't
yeah,
remember. Was that
Sahih,
one?
so, Sahih al-Bukhari, Volume 6, Book 61, number 527. It says, "But Allah said, none of our revelations do we abrogate or cause to be forgotten, but we substitute something better or similar." Muslims are always claiming that verses have been abrogated, but from Bukhari, it's said that Allah says there are none of our revelations do we abrogate or cause to be forgotten. So please enlighten me how that's not a contradiction when you go around saying it's abrogated. And Surah 20, 85 through 87, and 95, 97. It says, "But indeed we have tried your people after you have departed, and the samurai has led them astray. So Moses returned to his people, angry and grieved. Moses said, 'And what is your case, O Samaritan?'" The thing about this is, again, it's during Moses' times. This is talking about a people that are called the Samaritans. The Samaritans didn't exist until 722 BC or somewhere around that time. Again, Moses was 1400 BC. I have 2 minutes. Contradiction. Surah 21, ayah 105. It says that Allah has sent down the Psalms of David. In Surah 112, verse 3, it says, I believe it's 3, or maybe it's, I'm sorry, 115, verse 6. It says that no one can change Allah's words. And Surah 21, 105, again it says that Allah sent down the Psalms of David. If you look at Psalms 12, 6 through 8, God says that his words cannot be corrupted. If his words cannot be corrupted and Allah sent the Psalms down to David, then my friend needs to explain why in Psalms chapter 2, 6 through 8, Yahweh has a son. That's a contradiction with the Quran. The Quran says that God has no son, but yet, in the same breath, says that he sent down the Psalms, and Psalm says that he has a son. So Jibril comes to to Muhammad, and tells Muhammad that God has no son. But when Gabriel talks to Mary in Luke chapter 1, Gabriel says, "You have the Son of the Most High." The Quran is contradicting the previous verse, or the previous writings, that the Quran clearly says that it's true. One says, the Quran, that Allah has no son. Gabriel says, yes, Mary, you're going to have the Son of the Most High. Either we have a schizophrenic angel or one is an imposter. The final contradiction I'm going to bring up is Surah 33, ayah 40. It says that Muhammad is the seal of all prophets. Well, that's what Jibril told Muhammad. But if you go to Daniel chapter 9, 21 through 25, Gabriel gives Daniel understanding. And he says that a person who is going to come will be the one who seals both vision and prophets or prophecy. The word used there is Nabi. And this person who's going to be the seal of all visions and prophets is the Messiah. So again, we either have a schizophrenic angel or we have an imposter. So let's figure out which one it is.
All right. Rebuttals are 7 minutes, correct?
Make mine like
Yes, sir. 7 minutes.
All right, Anis, you ready to go?
yeah.
All right, your time starts. 3, 2, 1, go.
Nosce, I believe you forgot the actual topic of the debate. The topic of the debate is Quran contradictions. Not the Quran, quote unquote, contradicting previous scriptures. Bro, you brought Bukhari. Bro, what does Bukhari got to do with this? Bro, we're not talking about theological contradictions. Bro, where are you at, bro? What are you doing? We're talking about Quran contradictions here. Host, let me tell you how many verses got said. 1 verse, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then Bukhari 10. This guy listed 10 things. We said 5. I only need to address one thing, because everything else was just a historical inaccuracy, quote unquote. And I'm gonna show you guys one by one what verse you brought, how it's not even a contradiction, so I don't even need to entertain it. Chapter 7, verse 157 makes a claim that Muhammad is in the previous scriptures. What other verse contradicts that in the Quran? Nothing brought to the table. Chapter 12, verse 20, the coins. It's in the time of Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam, right? They were using dirhams. What verse contradicts it in the other book? In the other verses in the Quran? Nowhere. We're just looking at historical quote unquote inaccuracies that Nosce you're claiming. I don't need to do that. The topic is, does the Quran have P and not P's? Could not demonstrate that. Chapter 7, verse 1, the actual building, or Al-Aqsa. You're saying Al-Aqsa was not built till 705 AD? Well, unfortunately, that's not a contradiction either, because there's no demonstration of the contradiction. There's not another verse that you brought that created a P and not P. Notice how, guys, in my intro, I made it very clear. A contradiction is where two things cannot be true at the same time, i.e. in the scripture itself. I gave this guy raw contradictions that you find in his scripture, one by one. Boom, 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 boom. This guy's giving me historical inaccuracies. Dude, the debate is in the Quran, not Bukhari or anywhere else. Next one, chapter 9, verse 30, chapter 9, verse 30 to 31. He's saying this is a plagiarization. Again, where is the contradiction? I don't see the contradiction. Where's my book contradicting itself? I don't see this anywhere. You know the topic. What's next? Chapter 6, verse 75 through 78. Another claim of plagiarization. Where's the plagiarization? Or sorry, where's the contradiction? I haven't yet seen the contradiction. We're not talking about plagiarization or irreliability of a book. We're simply talking about if it disagrees with itself, if it contradicts itself. No, say, I'm not sure if you know what the topic is. He said chapter 20, verse 85 through 87. And then chapter 95 through 97. Again, he couldn't even pose the contradiction. He's just trying to pose the historical error of the crucifixion itself. I've yet to see the contradiction. How do these verses contradict? Where's the contradiction? The quote-unquote, the crucifixions that you're talking about, right? You have yet to show verses that contradict it. You're bringing me historical inaccuracies, bro. There's a difference between the two. Let's go to the next one. Chapter 21, verse 105. Chapter 6, verse 115. Okay, this is the first real quote-unquote contradiction. Chapter 21, verse 105, you said it's talking about David receiving the Psalms. Chapter 6, verse 105 is talking about how the scripture cannot be corrupted. Where's the contradiction? Where's the contradiction? Define the word corruption. When you say corruption, look, let me give you an example. When we say Torah, Torah is corrupted. What does that mean? If we mean that Torah, other things were attributed to God that we call the Torah, if that would be corruption, yes, that would be corruption. But you can't equivocate the word corruption to something else that fits your narrative. When we say that the Torah or the Psalms or etc. were corrupted, we don't mean in the absolute sense that God's words were substituted for others. We don't believe that, because this is talking about Lawh al-Mahfuz, the tablet up in where Allah is, right? It's with Allah, the tablet. No one changed the tablet. No one changed it. What happened was people took their own pens and papers and they wrote. And they said it was from God according to chapter 2, verse 79 in the Quran. You couldn't pose a contradiction there, unfortunately. So corruption has to be equivocated correctly. And then we go to chapter 33, verse 40. I don't know how this had to do anything with the conversation at all. This is not a contradiction. You couldn't pose how this was a contradiction at all. Let me actually get the verse that you were talking about. You said chapter 33, verse 40. But wait a second. Nosce, where's the contradiction? Because watch this. I'm going to read this right now, everybody. Chapter 33, verse 40. It says right here, Muhammad is not the father of any of your men, but is the messenger of God and the seal of the prophets, and God has perfect knowledge of all things. Bro, this does not mean, oh my gosh, you thought this was referring to like the father as in the divine sense. Bro, this is just talking about Muhammad not being the father of anyone else. And then you tried to contradict that with your Bible. Bro, the conversation is not Quran, Bible contradiction, one versus the other. No, you're finding internal contradictions between each book. So I have yet to see a contradiction. There's nothing else to actually rebuttal here. This guy brought Bukhari. Bukhari has nothing to do with the topic. You brought a hadith in Bukhari that says, quote unquote, nothing is abrogated. Why did you lie about the quote? Why did you lie about the quote? The quote in Bukhari does not say that nothing is abrogated. It says that nothing is abrogated except that we substitute it with something better, or we make it we make it forgotten. Allah makes Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam forget the verse. Bro, we're not talking about Bukhari here. Bro, we're talking about Quran, Kalam Allah, the actual book that has no contradictions here. We're not talking about Bukhari, Sunan Nasai. We're not talking about that. So honestly, bro, Ahmad is for the rest of the time. He has not posed one contradiction. He has posed one attempt of a contradiction. The rest are all historical errors. Please, Nosce, I need you to do better on your rebuttals, and I'm truly gonna press you in your cross exams. Honestly, Central, I think it's over. You can just conceal my time, bro. It's cooked, bro. It's cooked.
All right. Nosce.
So, yes, there are many contradictions within the verses themselves, but I want to focus on something that's more important, that there are historical errors in the Quran. If history proves one thing and the Quran says another thing, then P doesn't equal P. It means that your Quran has literature that contradicts actual history. And this is what I want my opponent to focus on. So yes, when I bring up the verse in the Quran about crucifixions happening during Moses' time, but the crucifixion wasn't invented until 600 BC by the Persians, that's a historical error. And yes, my friend just admitted that there are historical errors. So there are contradictions of the Quran to history. Now, he wanted to bring up John 1, 40 and 41, where Matthew is talking to Peter, or Simon Peter, and he's saying, you are the Messiah, or somebody else is claiming you are the Messiah. If he would kindly go, hold on just 1 second. If he would go to John chapter 6, 44, it says, no one can come to me unless the Father is the one who sent me. Only the Father can draw people. So when he makes a statement that not flesh and blood, but it was the Father, it is consistent. All people are drawn by the Father and revealed through the Holy Spirit. So there's no contradiction in that. He wanted to bring up a wicked generation, a sign. Now, I'm not sure exactly what he means by this, but yes, and one verse says, a wicked and adulterous generation will not get a sign except the sign of Jonah. Then one other verse says, this generation will not get a sign. Well, what is a sign? What is a miracle? He's not turning anything into water anymore. He's not raising people from the dead or healing the blind. They're not going to get any more of those kind of miracles. But what is he talking about? The sign of Jonah. He is talking about the most precious moment of history where he himself will die and be resurrected. That is greater than all miracles that he created. He's not going to give them any more of these illustrations proving that he's God by healing people. He's going to do something that nobody has ever done before. That means he will rise from the dead. There is no contradiction in that. He brought up Exodus 6:3. Yahweh. Yes, before Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they knew him as Hashem. But if you would remember, the first 5 books of the of the Tanakh, the Old Testament, is written by Moses. So Moses inserts the name that God gives him in Exodus 3, 13 through 15, because God before them was just known as the name, Hashem. So yes, Abraham and Isaac and Jacob didn't know him as Yahweh. They knew him as the name. But now Moses comes along and he gives them a name and he records it in the first 5 books of the Torah, or the Torah's first 5 books. Luke 1, 5 and 6, Galatians, only Christ. I don't remember what that argument was about. Maybe he can bring it back up in his cross-examination. And Matthew 27, I don't remember what he was talking about. He'll have to bring it up in his next one. So yes, I'll end it at that. He doesn't have anything to stand on with these verses that he brought out of the Bible. They're clearly understood.
Nosce, are you done with your time?
Yeah, bro.
All right. Cross exams, right?
Yeah, rapid fire cross exam, 7 minute nonstop. There's no interruptions. Oh,
All right.
man.
So you guys are just gonna go at it. Me and Dre don't interrupt.
Wait, so Sancho, are we doing it where we both get 7 minutes? Or like, okay, let's do it where like I question him for 7 minutes and he answers, and he questions me for 7 minutes and he answers.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get 7 minutes, he gets 7 minutes.
Yeah. But do you want me and Dre to like moderate, or do you guys want to just go at it?
Moderate if it gets heated. Can I get big screen, by the way?
Okay.
Okay. No say.
3, 2, 1, go.
Before I mention, bro, you brought no contradictions.
Hold on, Dennis, real quick. So you want to give him like 30 seconds to respond after you ask the question? That way we can kind of.
Yeah, I want rapid fire though. Like just, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So like 10 seconds to respond. 10-second response.
No. I just want it like we're just having like a regular conversation.
Okay. All right. So you guys you understand that, Nosce?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Cool.
No say. Can you define what a contradiction is?
That can have many meanings. It just means that a statement has been made and it contradicts itself in the same book, or it contradicts history.
No, that's not what a contradiction is.
Yes, it is a contradiction. Are you telling me that if I write a book and say the sky is red, and then
Wait,
go
I'm asking
outside,
questions.
and
Don't ask me questions. It's my cross exam.
okay, yeah. So I just answered your question.
Okay. Now, what's the title of the debate?
The title of the debate is: Are there contradictions with the Quran and the Bible? That's the
Not Bukhari, right?
okay. That's fine. It's associated with it. You don't have to take that one. Just take the ones out of the Quran.
Don't worry, I threw most of them out in the trash. But so,
good.
What does history have to do with the Quran? What you brought a contradiction. Most of them are. You took verses, you took history, you formed the contradiction. That's
Can
not
you
the title.
you
That's
tell
not
me-
the title of the book. I'm not done. It's my time, my precious time. You're wasting it. The title is which book is contradictory, i.e., which book has contradictions in it. Why do you think I gave you 10 contradictions, 5 contradictions, all verses in the Bible? So I'm gonna forget everything you brought. Can you go to John chapter 1, verse 40 through 41 and tell me, is Andrew the father? No say, bro, my time is going. No say.
Yeah, I mean, read it out. If you're going to give me something, tell me what it says.
Do you believe Andrew's the father?
Andrew's the father of who?
Do you believe he's the father, Almighty God?
No, he's not the father.
Okay, so let's read Matthew then. Matthew says right here, Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh, but by the Father in heaven." Who told Simon that Jesus was the Christ?
That is the dumbest argument I've ever heard.
Answer. No, I don't want the ad hominems. Answer my question.
What's your question?
So you didn't even hear it. Okay, so how's it dumb if you didn't hear it? I'll repeat it.
Yeah, so, yeah,
Well, I'm
repeat
not.
it.
Shh. Please, host mute him. It says right here, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but God, my Father in heaven." Who revealed to Simon that Jesus was the Christ?
Okay, so is Andrew flesh and blood or not?
I didn't ask you that. Don't ask me questions, bro. You know how
Good
debate
job.
works.
I just answered it.
No,
Andrew
you
is
answered the
making-
question.
Wait. I paused your time. No, say this is like the 5th time you've asked him a question in response. Like you have to answer the question instead of asking him a
You
question.
said
ahead.
you wouldn't come off.
He's
You said
moderating.
you wouldn't come off, or you would concede the debate. Now that you came off and not let Dre deal with it, you just conceded the debate for.
Dre,
You
is
just,
that-
you just
he's
messed up.
moderating.
You conceded, Central. You said you wouldn't open your mouth, but you did.
He's a mod. No,
All
say he's a
right,
moderator.
moderating.
No, he said he wouldn't. So
No,
My friend,
you
we're moderating.
that's in the intros
Dre,
and the rebuttals.
Dre, did he not? Did Central not say that if
In
he
the
came
intros
off
and
mute-
rebuttals,
Be
yes.
quiet. Hold on. Be quiet. Dre, did Central not say that if he came off mute, then it would be conceded?
Dre came off
Yeah,
of you in your intro.
Yeah, no, we're both moderating. It's okay, no say. Just answer the questions and let's just move forward. It's fine, no problem.
So the Father is the one that told that it was Jesus was the Messiah.
Okay, so the Father told Simon that he was the Father, correct? Sorry. The Father told Simon that Jesus is the Christ, correct?
The Father tells everyone, yes.
Okay, so just to make sure, this specific verse, the Father told Simon, he revealed to Simon that Jesus was the Christ.
Yes.
Okay. So it says right here, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, was one of the 2 who heard that John had said and who had followed Jesus. The first thing Andrew did was to find his brother Simon and tell him, keyword, not father, Simon. Sorry, Andrew. Andrew did was to find his brother Simon and tell him, "We have found the Christ." So according to this verse, did flesh and blood reveal to Simon that he is the Christ, that Jesus is the Christ?
So no flesh and blood. Andrew is not flesh and blood. Peter is not flesh and blood. The only one that's not flesh and blood is the divinity of Christ and the Father and the Holy Spirit.
So you just conceded.
No. You're making a
You
stupid
just
argument.
said that no one's flesh and blood
You're
except the
making a
Father.
stupid
So
argument.
wait a second. So
All
is
right,
Andrew the
keep
Father?
going. Keep going.
Is Andrew the Father?
Andrew is not Father God. And that
So
verse does not imply that Andrew is the
next
Father.
verse.
No,
Next
it's
verse.
dumb. I
Next
can't
verse.
wait to clip
Next
this.
verse. Next
I
verse.
can't
Come
wait.
on, come on. Don't waste my time. All right. Matthew chapter 16, verse 4 says that no sign will be given except Jonah. Was there a sign given or no?
Yes, the sign was given.
Okay, so why did Marcus say no sign will be given?
Just because he omits the sign of Jonah does not make it a contradictory statement.
That's not the point. Do you know like a sentence can be formed with
Okay, do both verses say a sign will not be given to a wicked
Stop
adulterous
asking me
generation?
questions. Look, he's wasting my time. Stop asking my questions.
All right, go
You can
for
ask
it.
me after. Don't ask me questions. You're wasting my time right now. So why does Mark say no sign will be given? And this guy says there will be one sign given. Was there 0 signs or 1 sign?
One sign.
So Mark is wrong when he says no sign, 0.
No, it's not.
So there will be 0 signs given.
Just because he omitted.
Answer the question. Was there 0 signs given
Just
according
because
to
there's
Mark?
omission doesn't mean that it's
according to
contradictory.
Mark. According to Mark, was there 0 signs given? Answer the question.
There was one sign given.
Mark says no sign will be given. How's that 1?
Okay, because just because he omitted the second half,
That's not my point.
doesn't mean
It
that
says
it's
0
contradiction.
signs. Bro,
You've been
bro, bro,
answered.
bro. No, you're not listening. You're not answering properly. You wasted my time enough.
No, you want me to answer like
when
you
Mark
want to,
says,
but you're an
wait, you're
idiot.
wasting my time, bro. When Mark says 0 sign will be given, that means 1 or 0.
Can you show me where he said 0?
I tell you, no sign will be given to it. Does no equal 1?
Where does 0 at in that verse?
I'm going to the next verse.
Good, thank you.
Okay. No. Go to Genesis chapter 22, verse 14. It says, so Abraham called that place, the Lord will provide, i.e. Yahweh. So Abraham knew the name Yahweh. Go to Exodus chapter 6, verse 3. It says, the God is God speaking. And I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by the name of God Almighty. But my name Yahweh was not known to them. How did Abraham know the name Yahweh?
Okay, so could his name be Hashem Jerah?
No. I'm not. That's not my contention. How does Abraham call a place Yahweh? He called a place Yahweh will provide. If he didn't know the name Yahweh.
So the name Hashem Jerah, Hebrew for provide, he could have been called Hashem Jerah, which
No,
is the same
in the
thing,
Hebrew it
which
says
is the
Yahweh.
same thing as God provides.
Wait, no. Because
You've
the
been answered.
Hebrew
You've
says
been
Yahweh.
answered.
Bro, 1 second. The Hebrew says Yahweh. Do you agree? Do you agree to that?
When Moses wrote this down, he used the name that God revealed to him in Exodus 3,
What is the name revealed to him?
3 to 15.
What is the name revealed to him? Can you say it?
So this was after Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob when
I got it.
God was on the mountain with him in Exodus chapter 3, 13 through 15. God gives Moses the name Yahweh. So when Moses is writing this down, not Abraham or Isaac or Jacob, because they
Did
passed
Abraham
on,
know the name Yahweh?
he knew Hashem Jerah.
Okay, so he didn't
That's
know
what he
Yahweh.
knew.
Next verse.
I've
You
answered
know,
your
look.
question.
Listen. I'm gonna forget this one because you're gonna run. Can you show me where the prophecy in Jeremiah is, where it says that they took the 30 pieces of silver, the price set on him by the people of Israel? Go ahead.
Yeah, so you'll find that in Exodus. Let me look it up real quick.
Wait, it says it's in Jeremiah. It says
Yeah,
then
I understand.
what was spoken by. Wait, it says then what was spoken by Jeremiah. Where in the book of Jeremiah is this?
Okay, so is it Jeremiah or Isaiah?
What, bro? I said Jeremiah.
Okay, give me the verse again.
Bro, time's over, bro. You wasted all my time anyway. It's your turn now. Go
No,
ahead.
I'll give you a chance. It's over with. I'll give you a chance. Ask the question again.
Look, if you that's up to you guys. No,
I'm
so if
giving
you want
him
to
a
do
chance.
it,
Ask the question again. Let me look at what you're talking about.
Okay, I also have. Wait, 1 second. I also
Alright,
have one more
wait, here.
contradiction left.
Look.
But I
I'll
couldn't
get
address
Ennis. I'll give you a minute uninterrupted to ask the question, and Nosce, I'll give you a minute to answer uninterrupted.
No. Okay. No. I don't. No, we're doing a cross exam. We're not doing that. Just give us 2 minutes in total so we can respond and answer.
Nosce, are you cool with that?
Well, he needs. Is he going to ask this last question he asked?
No. I am going to ask you 2 questions because I couldn't get to my last contradiction.
And if it happens in your cross exam, Nosce, we'll do the same thing.
Go for it.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, Nosce, where is the prophecy found in the book of Jeremiah that says, They took the 30 pieces of silver, the price set on him by the people of Israel, and they used them to buy the potter's field as the Lord commanded me.
Okay, give me the verse that you're reading.
Matthew chapter 27, verse 9 through 20. Sorry,
I don't-
Matthew chapter 27, verse 9 through 10.
Give me 1 second. Matthew what?
Chapter 27, verse 9 through 10.
This was for Jeremiah the prophet saying, and it took 30 pieces of silver. I can't answer that right now. I have to go back and look.
All right.
But it's there.
All good? No, it's not.
Yeah, it actually is. I just don't remember where.
Find it. Can you find it?
Yeah, I could, but go on with your next verse.
Okay, that's fine. And you go to, so Luke chapter 1, verse 5 through 6. It says very clearly, and they were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord blameless. Were they righteous?
Okay, at what time period? When they were growing up, or at that time point when they started walking
it
with
don't
the Lord?
matter. It don't matter, because were they both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments?
At that specific time frame, yes, but you can't rule out that when they were younger, they did not walk in the ways of the Lord. So there's no contradiction.
No. Wait. Were they walking in all the commandments at that time? Sure.
That's what the Bible says, yes.
Galatians chapter 2, verse 21 says it right here. I do not set aside the grace of God, for if righteousness could be gained through the law, Christ died for nothing. So according to Paul right here, Luke chapter 1, verse 5 through 6 is wrong, because these guys were righteous because they were walking through the commandments and the ordinances of the Lord blameless, meaning they were doing it without any blame. Can you answer?
Again, you have misunderstood. I can live a life of hell as a teenager, and when I grow up, I start walking in the statutes of God. That doesn't mean that those years that I...
You're good. Hey, it's done.
Wait a minute. It doesn't mean that the years that I spent living like hell...
It's
Hold
over.
on, I'm answering.
Just let him finish, because we gave you 2
What's
extra
wrong with
minutes.
you? So, yes, they will still be guilty for what they did in their youth, but at that specific time point, yes, they might have been walking in the Lord's statutes. So,
But
yes,
they were
they still
righteous
need...
during it. They were
They
righteous.
still need
Dennis,
the Lord...
guys, just let him respond. No, say respond.
So, yes, they would still need the Lord because all have sinned and fell short of the glory of God.
Okay. All right. No, say your 7-minute cross exam. I'm gonna start at the time in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so the origin of calamity is evil from Satan, or is it from Allah? And Surah 38:41, it says it's from Satan.
This is a new contradiction. Stop
And
playing
Surah
this game.
4,
We
79.
said no new arguments. I'm not addressing any argument that's new in this cross-examination.
Why not?
We already agreed to this. 5 arguments only. 5. You made 10. I addressed 5. Don't add more. Come on.
That's fine. You can run all you want to.
I'm
Okay,
running.
cool.
Yes.
So
Wow.
since your Allah said that He sent down the Book of Psalms, and in 116 it says that, or 115 it says that nobody.
Chapter number is not 115.
Are you going to keep interrupting me?
Chapter 115 doesn't exist.
I made a mistake.
I know. So correct yourself, please.
So be quiet. Let me have my time. So when Allah sends down the Psalms of David, and in Psalms it says He has a son, can you reconcile the contradiction between Psalms that Allah sent down and then Surah 112 where it says He doesn't have a son?
Okay, so there's no actual contradiction being actually shown here. You're not showing a contradiction in the Quran. You're showing a contradiction in a verse in the Quran. You take it and then you run to the Psalms of David, quote unquote, and then you make the
That's
contradiction.
good. So
That's not the topic.
So I didn't give you verses out of the Quran. I gave you historical errors.
You gave
And
me-
hold on, be quiet. Be quiet. Now that I'm giving you actual contradictions in the Quran, you're crying. No. We only stick in the 5. So which one is it? Do you want to debate or not?
Wait. Where's the
do you
in the
want
Quran?
verses out of the Quran that contradicts, or do you want me to stick with the historical errors that your Quran
What's
made?
the topic? Not historical errors, buddy.
Okay, if something is written down and it's from God and it contradicts what history says, is that a contradiction?
What's the title of the topic?
Answer the question. If a book that is by God is written and says one thing, and you see that is absolutely not the case with history, is that a contradiction?
Not in this debate, no, because you're
Is that a contradiction? Yes
You're
or no?
proposing a historical error, not a contradiction.
Okay, if it's a historical error and
Oh my
If
god.
the Quran says one thing and history says another, is that a historical error, or is that an error in your
Oh
Quran?
yeah, yeah. I would grant you the historical error, but this is not about historical errors, my friend.
Okay, so you agree that when your Quran says that crucifixion existed in Moses' time, hold on, in Moses' time, but it wasn't invented until the 600s by the Persians, is that an error in the Quran? Yes or
No, we're
no?
not talking errors. We're talking contradictions.
Okay, so which is that not a contradiction? Genius?
What? How's that a dude? I need a
Bro, are you
contradiction in the
slow? Are
text.
you
In the
slow?
text.
Are you slow?
That's a historical
Are
error.
you
What's the
slow?
title,
Okay,
buddy?
yes, your book contains errors. That is
We
why
don't.
it is
What
inconsistent.
specifically contradictions?
Okay, so I'll give you some ones that are in the Quran. So,
No new argument.
so Jesus was born more than 1,000 years after Moses, but in 157, Allah speaks to Moses about what is written in the Injil. So, can you
What?
explain that?
What? What's the contradiction?
Okay, Jesus is born more than 1,000 years after Moses, but in 157, Allah speaks to Moses about what is written in the Injil, the book that was given to Jesus.
What's the P and not P?
Was the Injil here on earth before Jesus?
The Injil was revealed to Jesus.
Okay, so why is Allah speaking
That's a new
to?
argument.
Okay, so you don't want to answer the question.
Yo, I'm not addressing any new arguments. I made it
So let me ask
clear.
you a question.
And God isn't speaking to
Wait a
Moses.
minute? Why does universal Islamic views contradict history?
You just conceded the whole topic. That's not the
No, I
topic,
didn't.
bro.
I'm showing you
Contradictions.
contradictions.
Contradiction.
Okay, we'll keep going. Can slander of chasing a woman be forgiven? Yes or no?
New argument.
Okay, cool. So in the Quran and Surah 24:5 it says yes, and Surah 24:23 it says no. On it says, how do we receive the record of Judgment Day? In
Dog,
Surah
no new
84:10 it says
arguments.
behind
Yo,
their back.
host, what does he not understand? No new arguments. We agreed in the cross exam. You can't do that.
So are you going to answer questions, or are you just going to sit there
I can answer questions
and
that
cry
pertain
about
to the
it?
topic. No new
I'm
arguments
giving you
and
wanted
no red herrings.
so you dismissed historical errors that I pointed out. You wanted it in a book, and then when I start giving it in a book, you start crying. Make that make sense.
No, that's a straw man. I'm telling you to give me the P and not P in the Quran. Don't go to
Okay,
outside
so I'm
Bible.
giving it to you now. So let me
Wait, can
give
you
it to
give me
you.
one time when I went out the Bible?
Okay, so cool. Since I went outside
cool, I know.
the Quran, I'm trying to give you answers or ask you questions in the Quran.
Don't go outside. Don't go to
Okay.
history. Stay in the Quran.
I've been asking you questions directly out of the
No,
Quran.
you went
haven't
to
answered.
history.
You
Don't
haven't
play
answered
games.
one.
I haven't answered one.
Noah's son.
A historical
according-
error is not a
Okay,
contradiction.
cool. So according to Surah 21:76, Noah and his family are saved by the flood. But in Surah 37:77, it confirms that his seeds survived. But Surah 11:42 through 43 reports that Noah's son drowns. Can you reconcile these verses and how they're not a contradiction?
I am not making a response to a new argument after I
Okay.
agreed. I'm not
So
doing it.
so listen, guys, my whole
You
introduction.
can't gish gallop.
My
That's not
whole
allowed.
introduction was how the Quran is contradicting historical facts. This guy whines about me going to
That's
history.
not the topic, bro. You gotta read that.
Now I'm going to actual verses in his Quran and asking him questions, and he's
You
crying
can't make
about
new
it.
arguments in the
He's
cross exam.
crying about how am I supposed to not give new arguments when my introduction was
The
just
same
historical?
thing. Okay,
So why
look.
don't you be a man
No,
and answer the
wait.
questions when I'm
In
giving
the cross exam, did I make new arguments? Did I make new arguments one time?
Why are you speaking? Hey, I get more time. He keeps speaking.
Give him
Speaking
3
more
minutes.
than I
I
have.
could care less. New arguments all day, every day. Come on.
Abrogation. The words of the Lord are perfect in truth and justice. There is none who can change his words. That's Surah 6:115. But then Allah sees the need to exchange some for better ones. So can you tell me the contradiction about it being perfect and Allah having to change it?
New argument, not addressing it.
All right.
Okay.
So we gave Ennis 2 minutes. Nosce will give you 2 minutes as well.
Hey, hold on. Before you start those 2 minutes, Central, you agree that it's not our job to control what these guys say, and Annis can just simply refuse to answer because it's a new argument, right? That's what we agreed upon. Because
Yeah,
I'm getting
bro. We
people
said
saying I
no
Yes.
new
can't control.
arguments.
I can't control what people say. All
Yes, I
Ennis has
agree.
to say is I don't want to answer it because it's a new argument, and that's fine. Like
That
we're not stepping in for
Yeah,
that.
host. We agreed. No new
exactly.
arguments. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Give
That,
your
I
that
agree, but
that's
time.
we don't
why.
step in for that.
So
Yeah, that's why I have it
my
unmuted.
understanding of this debate was any contradiction of the Quran. That was my understanding.
That's correct.
So if it's correct, then me looking at the Quran and showing that it's not
Start the
accurate,
timer, Central.
according to history, that is a contradiction. And that is the way I plan to attack the Quran, by showing that it is not historically accurate.
Okay. So you got the right idea, but the
My
execution is
question is,
wrong.
why are you crying when I'm actually
I'm
bringing you
answering your
verses now?
question. I'm answering you, man. Listen,
All right, let's move on.
bro. What? I can't answer,
Let's move on.
bro. Look. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Move on.
What's the next section?
Are you done with the minutes that you have?
What is it? I mean, I've already asked you all the questions, correct? What? Stop the time. Maybe I'm confused. What is this segment right here, Annis?
Bro, it's cross exam. He gave you 2 minutes extra because I got 2 minutes extra. You want to use your 2 minutes?
So he's okay. So cool. You can start. You can start the time.
Okay, go.
So let me ask you a question: will Christians enter paradise or go to hell?
New argument, not answering it.
Okay. So since I brought nothing but historical errors in my introduction, I'll just ask the question. He could still say he doesn't want to answer it. Will Christians enter paradise or go to hell? In Surah 2:62 and Surah 5:69, it says yes. But in Surah 5:72 and Surah 3:85, it says no. That's a clear P, not P, contradiction in the Quran.
I'll just answer it. I'll just answer it because it's the first one that you brought, right? So we
the
read
first one I brought.
in chapter 2, verse 62, it says, "Inna alladhina amanu walladhina hadu," right? وَالنَّصَارَى صَابِئِينَ, and so on, right? This is referring to the Christians and Jews that lived in the time of Moses and Jesus, because the word is a past participle. So this is referring to the past. And Ibn Kathir actually comments more on this. He makes it clear.
Did Christians exist during the time of Moses?
Yeah, when it says Christians, it's referring to those. No, I didn't say that. You're strawmanning. I said those. When I said that, I meant Christians.
Did you not just say that?
No, I'll tell you what I said. Christians around Christ's time. Jews around Jews' time. These terms are just used to say they are following Moses or they're following.
Good job, buddy. Good job.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. You guys doing like conclusions?
Yes.
How long?
2 minutes.
2 minutes? All right, let me do 2-minute timer. All right. Ennis, your 2 minutes starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
First start, big start.
Oh, you on big screen? All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Guys, what contradiction did he bring? Did he not understand the rules? You cannot add contradictions. You cannot add stuff. And in the actual cross exam, you can only discuss what was discussed. What do you not understand, Nosce? I hope you've learned your lesson today, honestly, seriously, because you have presented no contradictions. You literally conceded on Jeremiah. You said no sign will be given. You said, wait, where does it say 0? These guys said you were the best. Okay, so again, right? So what you said is not what you brought is not any contradictions, right? The problem is with your ideology, right? Is that you brought things that weren't pertaining to the topic. All right, Nosce? So I brought you 5 contradictions. You answered 0. You said Andrew is the father. You conceded to that. You didn't know, but you conceded to that, right? I just want to thank, like, I'm not going to entertain this guy anymore. Like, he cooked himself a lot. A Christian community, excommunicate this guy out of here. Get him out of here. And inshallah, everyone, please, don't follow this guy. Don't go to his lives. Just listen, guys. There's no contradiction in the Quran. I dealt with every single one that he brought. That was a contradiction that wasn't added on as an argument, except one. He brought historical errors, quote unquote. Bro, that's not a contradiction. That is not a contradiction. We're not talking historical reliability because this has nothing to do with the topic. So no, say I really wish that next time we debate or you debate someone, I think you should be excommunicated, not even debating. So you should not be debating. Like, you need to be excommunicated. You need to get out of here because you brought no contradictions. You didn't really present anything. I actually thought you were going to do better than this, but I mean, We did this all with the will of Allah. Anything that was good that I said is from Allah. Anything that I said that was bad is from ignorance and the shaitan himself. Sallallahu wa sallam ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.
Right, Nosce, your 2-minute outro.
So guys, a contradiction is a contradiction, whether it's two verses in a book or if it contradicts actual history. The topic was contradictions in the Quran. He didn't specify it had to be one or two verses in the Quran that contradict itself. It's just contradictions. Now, my friend says that I didn't answer. He's wrong. He says that I thought Andrew was the father. Go back and watch the tape. I never once said that Andrew is the father. He's a liar, just like his father, Satan. Now, when I brought my introduction up, I brought up many historical facts that we have that the Quran got wrong. The Quran contradicts actual historical facts. So he begins to cry about it when we get into our cross exam. All I gave was historical inaccuracies. When he starts crying about what I gave in my introduction and start using stuff that's out of the Quran, he starts crying like a little baby. So yes, you need a bottle and a pacifier. I'll get some baby wipes for you. I'm sorry that it was so hard on you, but you did not represent Islam, and you don't know what you're doing. You just don't. So the person that really needs to be excommunicated is you, my friend. So guys, I want you to understand that without the Torah, the Tanakh, or the gospel, the Quran has nothing to stand on. Has nothing. Their book always leans on our book, and they still get it wrong, such as Mary. Mary didn't live in the time of Moses. That's a 1,400-year difference. So, guys, I hope you really pay attention to how wrong Islam is.
That's some great refutation you had there. Thank you, thank you.
Time. Okay. Q&As?
Yeah, 3 each. Request up Christians, Muslims. I can take the first question and so on.
All right.
A bunch of L's. Oh my gosh.
Okay, you got... Who wants to take the first question?
Host, can you list out the things?
What's up?
Host, can you list out the questions? Or like the people in the guest?
Yeah, I got you. Oh, so you have
400 and else. Okay. No. The Christians. I want the Christians.
oh yeah. Hold on.
Hey, Dre, you think it's cool if, like, they come up, they ask the question, and then we give each person a minute to respond?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Okay.
So you want Christians? Let me see. I have Brunette Allah.
Okay. Who else?
I have Trinity Apologetics. Or should it Nosce pick the Christian to
Yeah,
ask you the
Nosce,
question? You
yeah,
pick
yeah.
the Muslim to ask the question?
Yeah,
say
no
Christian.
safe picks.
Who's in the box?
All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. Hold on. Let me see. No, that's Soldier. You have Trinity Apologetics. You have.
That's fine. Trinity can come up first.
All right, cool. Trinity, you have 1 minute to ask. It's 1 minute. No, Central to ask the question.
So they'll ask the question, and then we'll give Ennis 1 minute to respond uninterrupted, and then we'll give Nosce 1 minute to respond uninterrupted.
All right, bet.
Sorry, fellas, I didn't mean to come in here. It was my fault. I really didn't mean to press the button.
Fine.
I apologize.
I can have somebody else.
You got Sostin. You want Sostin to come up instead?
Yeah, that's
Nosce?
fine. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, Trinity, drop, please.
What's the question?
All right, Sauce, go ahead, ask the question.
Yeah, I had a question. If I have a Bible that dates during Muhammad's time and he confirmed it, does that mean it's true? And it's authentic and
Quick, I will not answer. Sorry, GG's.
God.
Guys,
Respond, brother.
the
All right,
answer, the questions have to be on the topic, not like outside.
so I'll answer his question. Yes, and Surah 543, Ibn Kathir, it does say that Muhammad did place his hand on the Torah. So at least till the 7th century, we know that the Torah was not corrupted. Jesus, in their own Quran, says the same thing, where he confirmed 1,400 years of the Tanakh, which means that it was not corrupted up until the time of Jesus. So that's the answer to his question, since Anas didn't want to
The
answer.
Quran is false because it contradicts both
Hey,
books.
Sawston, that's it. You can't like ask two questions.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Come on, let us answer the question, bro. I don't want to use commentary. Get him up out of here.
All right. So
All
are we
right.
doing round
Good,
robin?
good.
Like we switching back and forth,
Austin,
or
can
we
you
doing
drop,
just three
please? Can you
Christians?
drop?
Yeah. So now we're gonna like bring up a Muslim.
Can you
For
look at
Okay.
the box?
All right. You want me to read you the Muslims?
Yeah.
Dennis? All right. You have Pac-Man. You have Ahmed. You have
Malik.
Soldier of Allah. I'm not bringing Malik up, bro. I'm sorry. That's the one person I won't bring up. You have Talking About My Opinion. You have Psych Boy. You have, you know him better.
Is
You
Beyond
got
Doxology there?
yeah. You got beyond
Beyond.
that.
Yeah, Beyond is on here. Yeah.
Beyond Doxology. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah.
Can I ask you?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to choose to highlight one of them that Enes brought up. I didn't really hear an answer for it. So the contradiction that I would like you to explain is one that kind of strikes to the heart of the Christian theology in general. In Galatians, the passage that Enes brought up, it says that if righteousness can be obtained through the law, then Jesus Christ died for nothing. Yet in the Old Testament and in the New Testament, he brought up a passage in the Gospel according to Luke, where Elizabeth and Zechariah are both called righteous before God, walking in his laws. So if they attained righteousness through the law, and Paul says that you cannot attain righteousness through the law, and that's why Jesus had to die, then that's a contradiction. Can you explain that, please?
As I explained before, is just because at a certain point in your life that you actually start following the statutes of God, that God will count it righteousness to you. You will see many times in the Old Testament where the Jews got off track, was disobeying and rebelling against God. And when he sent prophets, they turned back to God. They started walking in his statute. So the claim about Jesus not being needed, that is a false claim. Because in Romans chapter 3:23, it says, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." So at some point in time, you're going to sin in your life. You may be following the statutes of God, but you will still sin. So yes, you will need a savior.
All right, Enes, do you want a minute to tackle that?
Yeah, bro.
Go ahead.
Didn't use contention whatsoever. Just avoided the whole question. Look, bro. We read very clearly that what Paul says is that none can attain righteousness by following the law. You can't only have it with works, essentially. Abiding by the laws and everything else blamelessly of the Lord, the laws of the Lord. But we have in Luke two people, I forgot their names, I can just load it up on my computer. They were called righteous. It says it right here. And they were both righteous before God, walking in all the commandments and ordinances of the Lord blameless. They were walking in the commandments and the ordinances very blamelessly. Go in Galatians, Paul says very clearly, "I do not set aside the grace of God, for if righteousness could be gained through law, Christ died for nothing." That is a pure, a blatant contradiction, because here,
Say that they were righteous all their lives.
excuse me, look, he's interrupting my conclusion. He's interrupting my conclusion.
Paul doesn't say that if you can be righteous all your life, then the crucifixion was necessary.
Guys,
He says righteousness cannot be obtained.
Look, he
Guys,
interrupted. He conceded the debate, but I'll continue. It's okay. All right,
Enes, go ahead. 7 seconds. Go.
No, I'm done, bro. You already interrupted. Go ahead.
All right. It's
What's that?
whose turn now? A Christian's turn to come up.
All right. Let me see who we got. You have Shoot, hold on. I'm
Can
sorry.
you drop me real quick?
Requesting that Moses. You know how to drop or no? I'll drop you. I'll
No,
give
I'm
a
not.
second.
The thing is not. Yep.
You gotta drop him.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. All right, we have where are the Christians at, bro? We have Brunette, Allah. We have um. That's pretty much it, bro. As far as I can see, Vlad was up here, but I don't know what happened to Vlad. King
Bronette is
Drake.
a blasphemer, bro.
Is JJ or sealed in the box?
Follower of Christ is in the box. I don't know who that is though. You have I don't know if DZ Christian or is he Muslim? I don't know.
If JJ wants to come up, I'll let her be the third person. Just bring up one of them.
It'll be your second person, bro.
Yeah, no. So just bring up whoever.
You guys Saint somebody. I don't know who that is. I'm trying to figure out. There isn't really a whole lot of Christians in here, to be honest with you.
Hold on just a
I'm gonna
second.
say it again. So you got King Drake, you got Abu
Follower of Christ says he's in the guest box.
Follower of Christ. Gotcha. There you go. Follower of Christ, you get to ask one question, no follow-ups. Just ask the question clear and concise. Go ahead.
W. Annas, he won the debate.
Guys, come on, man, stop.
Okay, bring up another one.
All right, here we go. Let me see. You have King Drake. You have Abu.
King Drake's fine.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Hey, King Drake, real quick. Clear and concise question. That's all you ask, and then you drop, okay?
Yep, no problem. All right. So being is that this is for Ennis, of course. Being is that we know Ennis has admitted prior that there's a negation in the Jonah sign, right? In all three of the accounts that there's a negation, right? So I want to ask him: is the sign being announced the same as him giving the sign?
That's a great question. Start my time. Drake, drop. Wait, before I answer, drop him.
Bro, just answer the question, man. Go ahead.
No, he got to drop, so he don't.
I want to know what he questioned. I didn't hear his question, so after you finish.
I dropped him. It's fine. You didn't hear his question?
No, it was breaking up.
All right, let me bring him back up for just
His
a second to
question
re-ask
was-
the question.
I remember his question. His question was, when Jesus gave the sign of Jonah, is that the same as announcing it?
Hey, you're a walking contradiction. Let me get it from somebody that actually said it.
All right, let me just bring him up, Ennis, real quick. All right, King Drake, request back up. Oh, he's here. Ask the question one more time, please.
I said, all right. So being is that Ennis has admitted prior that there's a negation, right, of an immediate sign in all three accounts, right? I want to know from him, is the announcement of the sign, right, the same as showing them the sign? And did all three accounts negate the sign? I want to ask him that again.
Okay, start my time.
Is the question understood by both sides?
Yeah, I understand the question now.
All right, cool. All right, Drake.
All right, Ennis, go.
My protein shake. Back to it. This guy told me all three accounts, they negate it. No, all three accounts don't negate it. Wrong. Just because it says no sign will be given except the sign of Jonah. The first part includes a negation does not mean that it negates it, because the following, it just erases everything that came before. So when it says no sign will be given except Jonah, it's not negating a sign, because if it was, there would be zero signs. Learn English. According to the Gospel of Mark, he says no sign will be given. Whether it's immediate or not doesn't matter. No sign will be given. There's no negation of immediate sign. Again, false. That's not true. That's just an interpretation you guys brought up to cope around it, yet doesn't even solve the contradiction. So you said, is giving the sign announcing it? Yes, because he was not giving that sign. That sign was taking place, quote unquote. Giving the sign and announcing the sign is the same thing. He's literally giving it to them. He says, no sign will be given to you except the sign of Jonah. Right? Him giving the sign is different than the sign taking place.
Time.
Okay.
No
So again, just because something is omitted doesn't make a contradiction. What my friend fails to see is that one sign, him raising from the dead, is mentioned in all 4 Gospels. So it doesn't matter if one of them just says no sign shall be given, because the sign was spoken about in the end of the book, each Gospel, the death and resurrection. So it's not a contradiction.
All right. I think this is Central. This is his third, right? Third Muslim coming up.
Yeah.
No. Is it?
No. Yeah.
That's the third one. 'Cause you
Yeah.
started
Yeah. Yeah.
first. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead. Pick the person you want, Central. You and Anis.
Let me see who's here. I'll tell you. You got Cora.
Huh?
You got Karam.
Okay.
Idris. Soldier of Allah. Abu Shwarma. No, that's a Christian. You have Muhammad.
Cora.
Okay, Cora.
Is Pac-Man requesting?
Huh?
Is Pac-Man requesting?
Pac-Man?
Yeah.
Cora? Okay.
Wait, only Wissam came up with my question, bro.
What's up?
Only Wissam came up with my question. That's my second, not my third.
This is your third question.
Okay, so who's the first person that came to me? Go ahead.
Yeah,
You had two.
Huh?
You had
was,
two.
who was the first person that came up? I don't remember.
Wissam, no one else.
The second one was Beyond Doubt, and the first one I can't remember exactly who.
Yeah,
but
because
the
there
one
wasn't
that
any
was
first one. That's the point.
Yes,
There
there
was,
was.
exactly.
Okay.
No, yeah, thank you.
Hold on. Give me a second. Hey, the two debaters, y'all, hold on. Let me and
Right, he's
Central sort
lying,
it out.
bro. It's the second one.
Hold on. Let me and Central sort it out. That's our job. Y'all just stay on mute for a second.
Oh.
So, Central, I'm trying to think. Was the first question to Nosce? I thought the first question was to Nosce, or was it to
No, it was to me.
Ennis?
No, the first question was to Ennis. Yeah, it was to Ennis, and he chose not to answer it.
So it would have been a Christian then. Because Sawston was the first person to come up. Sawston was the first person to come up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
So it was.
And then this last one was who was the
It's my
person that
second.
just
It's
asked
my
about
second,
Drake?
bro.
Ennis, just wait. So Beyond Doubt was the second person to come up. The third person is Cora. So this is Ennis's second.
Exactly.
So it's 2-2 then, because it was Sawston and King
Beyond.
Drake were the two Christians that came up.
Yep. And then now a Muslim. This would be his second, and then one more for Nosce, and then one more for Ennis, and then done.
Drake also
Okay,
came up.
cool. Got it. All right. So Cora, Cora is the second Muslim coming up to ask the question. Cora, the floor is on you. Make the question clear and concise. When both parties agree that they understood, you can drop at that point. Okay, go ahead.
All right, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum to the Muslims, by the way. My question is to Nosce regarding this exact same sign where Jesus is, the people are asking Jesus for a sign. And in Mark, he negates a sign. And in Matthew, he negates and then affirms. So in Mark, if it remains a negation, is there any sign to come? Yes or no? If it remains a negation and there's nothing that comes after it.
Okay, so a omission of something again is not a contradiction. It doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. You have to understand that the focus is on Christ. You have to understand that the only thing, not signs of raising the dead, healing people that are blind, paralytic, has leprosy, those are the signs they were looking for. Jesus had already given those signs. So no other sign will be given except the sign of Jonah. The sign of Jonah is him being resurrected. And just because they say no other sign, yes, no more healing, no more fixing the paralytics, no more of that you're going to get. Only me raising from the dead. Just because they omitted that doesn't mean that it's a contradiction.
Hold on. I muted you, Central, because you had background, just so you know. Go ahead, Anis. You got a minute.
Oh my god, that waffle. Again, no one claimed that the omission of something, merely just the omission, makes a contradiction. The omission of this specific verse is a contradiction because you are saying that there is no sign in the other, Sorry, you're saying that there's no sign on this one, and the other says there is a sign. Bro, what? It doesn't matter. So you couldn't answer if there's a sign or not. If you say yes, then Mark is wrong. If you say no, then Mark is right. Khalas, you can't answer it. Your only difference is that, oh my God, just because you omit one. No, it doesn't matter. No. When there's a statement that is created of a proposition that's made up of affirmation, second, then negation first, and then you take out the affirmation, you make that a second proposition, that makes a contradiction. If I said that there's no God, and then I say that there's no God except Allah, you would say that's not a contradiction, right? But if you stick with the same logic, you say it isn't. I'm saying that there is only one God according to that proposition. The other proposition says that there's no God.
So can you pause the time?
Hey, look, he's interrupting again. That's the second time he's
I asked
interrupting.
if he can pause the time.
No. Central, give me my 5 seconds back, bro. Be quiet, bro. Get off mute. Get on mute, bro. My God, bro.
Hey, Ennis, you got 5 seconds, okay?
All right. So he couldn't even solve the contradiction because saying the omission of something doesn't really solve it.
Okay.
All right, that's time. All right, so we got one more round, one more Christian, one more Muslim. That's it. All right. So Nosce, this is who you have in the box. You have Little Deer, Abu Shawar. You have Klitsch Mac, Orthotheist. I'm not sure if V is a Christian or not. Not sure. D-Rag, I'm not. He should be a Christian as well.
Little bit is fine.
Yeah,
But I wanted to point out something because he's saying that I'm not addressing it. If you look in Surah 29:27, it says,
No, say, come on,
be quiet.
No
because
new arguments, no
he's
say.
making a claim. I'm trying to clarify something.
No. Hey.
So let me clarify, Dre. Let me clarify something because
No, that's not fair.
he's misrepresenting me.
That's not part of the
He's
debate.
misrepresenting me.
It's fine. We see it. Trust me.
Right, that's not
No, but I want to say it. I'll say it when the question's asked. I'll do it in my time.
Hold on. Hey, hold on, guys. Both of you guys.
Little Deer, let Little Deer up.
I'm gonna let Little Deer up. Well, after this debate, the Christians can stay here. You can make whatever you have to do, and I'm sure the Muslims will probably go by Central or by Annis. So let's just. It's about to be done, bro. Let's just.
That's the fourth time this guy. Oh my God.
It's okay. Hold on. All right, Little Deer, I'm bringing you up. Give me a second. Where did Little Deer go? Little Deer. Little Deer.
I brought her up.
Oh, my bad. Okay, cool. Little Deer, you get to ask a question clear and concise. When both parties agree that they understand your question, please drop, or I will drop you. Either way. All right? Go ahead.
Okay. So this question is for Anas. So are you categorically stating that there are historical inaccuracies in the Quran, as Nosce had pointed out?
Really good question with a very long answer. The answer is no. Get out of here.
Okay, so I'm going to answer that. So in Surah 29:27, and we bestowed on him, speaking of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, and we established prophethood and scripture among his seed, and we gave him his reward in this world and the hereafter. Just because it says Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but does not say Muhammad, does a negation of leaving Muhammad out show that Muhammad is not a real prophet? Answer.
Wait, I get to answer that or what? Like you said answer? Or
No, Ennis, you don't get to answer, no.
I'm giving you the rest of my time. Since Muhammad was negated in this verse, does that mean he's not a true prophet?
Are you done, Nosa? Is that because he can't answer? He already had his minute.
I just want to put that. That's fine. I just want to put that out there.
All right, cool. So that's the end of that. So Anis, you and Central could pick the last question, and then
who's there?
Let's see. You have Pac-Man, Falastini. You have. I don't speak Arabic. Somebody with Arabic writing, bro. I have no idea.
Palestinian.
Soldier of Allah.
Unfortunately, you don't get to choose who comes, right? So that's bad, right?
Omar Ali. I'm sorry. Some of the names are Arabic, bro, so I can't read them.
How many people are requesting, by the way?
There's a couple, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Pac-Man. If Ahmed was requesting, I would have picked Ahmed, but I'm picking Palestine.
All right.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's up, bud?
All right, Stevie, you get to ask one question, clear and concise. When both parties have agreed that they understand your question, just drop for me, okay?
Absolutely. So, Nosce, I heard you say that in the four Gospels that the sign of Jonah and the description of the sign of Jonah was actually mentioned, where in Mark it doesn't describe or even mention the sign of Jonah. Can you indicate anywhere in Mark where it actually talks about the sign of Jonah?
Okay, so Jonah, the sign of Jonah, if you look in Jonah 2:2, it says that he cries out from hell, the belly of hell. And then God resurrects him and the fish spits him on the sea. So as the gospel itself, all four, shows that Jesus was crucified, he was in the tomb for 3 days and 3 nights, and he was resurrected on the third day. So yes, there's a parallel.
Looks like he's finished. Okay. Guys, no, Mark does not recognize Jesus' crucifixion as the sign of Jonah, apparently, right? Because Mark says, no sign will be given, meaning Jonah is not going to be a sign. Crucifixion wasn't a sign, right? So, and also, according to Mark, chapter 15, verse 21 and onwards through 25, Simon of Cyrene was crucified, bro, not Jesus. So, try again. No, again, no refutation at all. That concludes the debate.
All right, that concludes the debate. I guess that's that. And there's we should have did closing remarks at the end, but I guess you guys already did your closing remarks, so
No,
it is what it is.
I'd rather do a final remark.
You want to do a final remark too, Annis? You cool with that?
I don't know what that is. Like, what do you mean by that?
I don't know, like a minute to just say whatever to conclude it. Thank you, whatever you want to say at the end.
Was in part two?
I guess if you want to call it that.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let me flip my camera. All right, who wants to go first?
No, he can go first.
All right.
So I'll make my final remarks. So clearly, he's making suggestions that are not there, such as it was Simon of Cyrene that got crucified. Show me one historian that says that. Now, I'm not asking, that's rhetorical. But my opponent obviously was scared to answer the actual verses from the Quran. My introduction, yes, was on how the Quran, Islamic views contradict history from the Quran. He started crying about that, but when I started bringing up the actual verses that contradict, he started crying. He didn't want to hear it. New stuff. So which one is it? Stick with the historical stuff you're going to answer, or actually answer the stuff that's in the Quran and not cry? So I want people to understand that Islam has no foot. It stands on nothing. The internet is killing Islam.
Time. Annis?
But okay. Hang on. Wait, I'm on a big screen before I start. So he said. Big screen real quick. Good. You guys said, bring me a historian that says Simon of Cyrene was crucified. I'll bring you the Bible. According to Mark chapter 15, verse 21, then they compelled a certain man, Simon of Cyrene, the father of Alexander and Rufus, as he was coming out of the country and passing by to bear his cross. And they brought him to the place Golgotha, which is translated place of a skull. And they gave him wine mingled with myrrh to drink, but he did not take it. And when they crucified him, they divided his garments, casting lots for them to determine what every man should take. Your Bible says he was actually crucified, not even any historian, right? And Nosce, I think today you've demonstrated that you were not able to bring any contradictions. Historical errors are not the topic. I would dog on you on that anyway. We can talk about that in another formal debate. We have to understand you have to follow the directions. You cannot interrupt twice as you did. You cannot bring more than 5 contradictions. You brought 13 or 15 or 16, right? You have to be honest in your debate. You couldn't answer if the sign of Jonah is 1, 0, 0. Dude, the omission of something, bro, I don't care. Was it 1 sign or 0 signs? You weren't able to answer the question.
All right, that concludes the debate. I appreciate everybody coming by. I think me and Central Dawa did amazing. We were fair across the board.
Let's go to your live. Come on.
My life? All right. Dre, nice catching up, bro.
Thank you. You're a good host, man. No, say you got cooked. Excommunicate this guy. Get him up out of here.
Guys, let's leave off on a good note. Nice debate. Thank you guys for showing up. Ennis, start the live. I'll join right now.
No. You start, bro. I don't want to start.
All right. I'll go live. All right. See you, Dre.
All right. God bless you.
See you, man. God bless.
Okay, let me see.
Bring up
Who?
JJ.
I don't see her in here, bro. Is she?
Show it, Wes. That boy got cooked. He got roasted.
Uh, JJ.
God bless, guys.
I just want to say something quick, and then I'm gonna go. They were muting Christians the entire time, and the disrespect that like they showed, for example, Little Deer. I wish that Dre, you or somebody spoke up and said, no, say didn't disrespect anybody that came up, but I guess that's how these Muslims roll. But just so you know, 2 of Nat's accounts were muted. I was getting messages the whole time. I'm muted, I'm muted, I'm muted.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
muted too.
I muted. I unmuted as soon as people were muted. I didn't let them stay like that, and unfortunately, that's kind of the game we play, right? When they select a mod that is not being fair and just muting for no reason. So I didn't want
They
to
should
interrupt the
take,
debate.
you should take their mods then, if they're not following rules.
So the debate, prior to the debate, we had a mod which was Ibn Ezra, and and I allowed them to have one Muslim mod, and he kept muting everybody. So I didn't want to interrupt the debate. I just kept unmuting Christians as they were being muted.
Yeah,
That's all I
you
did.
unmuted me. Yeah, thanks. But I just want to raise something. So I think you could have stepped in, Dre. I know you were trying your hardest to keep it as unbiased as possible. But look at this. So he wouldn't answer any of Nosce's introduction points, any of his contradictions, because they weren't solely in the Quran, okay? But then when he actually brought the contradictions within the Quran, he said he wouldn't answer them because it's a new argument. So that means that he wasn't going to answer to anything whatsoever. He literally threw out his whole introduction, and then when he brought the new arguments that were pertaining inside the Quran, he wouldn't answer to them. So he literally left Nosce with no argument in a way. Like that, I believe you guys could have done a better way of just.
I would have allowed that because it's a contradiction regardless.
Okay, so here's the thing though. From the beginning of, like, you guys weren't in the back channels. So from the beginning of the back channels and before the debate started, it was 5 contradictions that you got to ask. And they were going to stick to those 5 contradictions. If they
But
brought
Dre,
more,
if he threw him under the bus, he said he's not going to answer any of those 5, and then Nosce brought him new ones because he said he wouldn't answer them. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah, I know. And that's why, to me, if somebody doesn't answer the contradictions I wish Nosce would have brought those contradictions in the intro because they were great.
Yeah.
The ones, those were good.
Yeah, same.
The first ones were historical, and I already knew he was going to say no to those because they were historical.
Dre, was it specified that it could not, like, any of the question could not be out of the Quran? It had to literally be just verses. Was that specified? Because it was about the Quran.
It wasn't specified.
It wasn't specified.
That's what I'm saying. I wish that,
But it was supposed to be P, not P's, within the Bible and within the Quran. That's technically what it was supposed to be. So, like, the ones that Nosce brought up afterwards were like, dude, I was like, yo, you should have asked those in the intro. Those were the home run hitters. You hit those for the wrong time. What the heck?
Well, and I was in here at the beginning, and so I don't know if Nosce understood right at the beginning, before he even, started the debate. Anas is the one that agreed to the P, not P, right? I don't remember hearing Nosce agree that he was going to go with that.
Well,
So
you gotta
Anas
remember,
is setting up the rules.
Anas challenged Nosce. So Nosce didn't challenge Anas. Anas challenged Nosce. Nosce accepted the debate, which I think, like I said, I think the questions that Nosce brought in the rebuttals were the questions he should have asked in the intro. That's all I'm saying.
Right, the P versus P.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they whine and cry about every little detail. And then they do these little things like, yeah, drop her. And then he'll give a little like shitty comment like, yeah, get out of here. Like they're demanding respect and crying about everything. That's kind of what I was noticing. Like Christians, literally they cry and whine about something and we're like, okay, no, they shouldn't be allowed to speak to Christians that come on the panel like that. and not every little thing they cry about should be like, okay, fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with, like, if somebody asks us a question and there's another part to it brought up in the conversation. I don't know. I just think that when they start crying, we're just give them what they want. So that's, I'll mute now.
I mean, you gotta remember, we're dealing. My mentor says this all the time. Like, what exactly do you guys expect from people who aren't saved? You expect, like,
No, but I think it was your job, Dre, is what I'm trying to say, is to kind of stand like your ground and say no, that because you're the host. So it was a contradiction. It was a historical contradiction about the Quran. That's what I'm saying. Like, he just started whining to get out of answering, and we were just like, okay, fine, let's just throw Nosce's argument under the bus when that is a contradiction.
okay, so in the beginning, no, JJ, the rules were if I unmuted, Nosce conceded automatically. So I was not trying to unmute so that Nosce does not concede by default because of me. That was agreed upon by everybody. So the only
That's
way I was
another
able
whine. That's another whining that they were doing that we allowed them to do. Like, if there's something wrong,
Nosce did a good job, though. He stuck it to him. He stuck it to him. I think Nosce stuck it to him. He did the right thing. At the end of the day, Nosce did what he had to do. He brought a million contradictions. He was like, I'm not answering it because it wasn't initial. He wasn't going to be able to answer it. If he could, he would have just answered them.
no, I think Nosce did great, and that's why he was running. That's the whole point. Everything he was like, that's not a contradiction. Ha ha ha. That's not. He didn't answer anything. My point is, and I noticed this when Albie debated, is that if we're hosting the lives, we kind of have to put our foot down and not allow them to whine and cry about everything. Like that, I'm sorry, guys. The whole thing that Nosce brought historically, that's a contradiction. And they twisted and turned it and kind of like...
JJ, he conceded that it was a contradiction. What else do you want?
Well,
he did.
He conceded. He conceded. He said it was a contradiction. He conceded.
I guess, but he wouldn't elaborate is what I'm saying. Like, he wouldn't let Nosce...
He conceded. He literally said he conceded. Like, what else do you want?
I
Can I just say something? I wanted to say one thing. Nosce, you did really good. You did stick it to him. On the sign, right? The sign of Jonah. So there's a distinction between an immediate sign and an ultimate sign. St. John Chrysostom speaks on this on both passages. So yeah, basically he was talking to two different crowds. In Mark, they wanted an immediate sign. And in Matthew, it was the ultimate sign. So there's a distinction between the two signs. So it's not a contradiction.
I think I made that clear from the differences between just healing people in their midst or
exactly. Yep.
Different from the crucifixion. I made that argument.
They wasn't listening.
You answered the question. I think there wasn't a problem. I think you took a W. They asked you the same question 3 times. So it was a dub, regardless. I'm like, okay, Nosce got a dub. Like, I don't get it. And honestly, when Nosce brought up the contradictions historically, he agreed. He conceded. He said, yeah, I agree. We have historical contradictions. Okay, that's an L.
I didn't hear that part. I didn't.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to get him to say it again at the end there, because he did in the debate. He said, yeah, there are historical contradictions in the Quran, but that's not what the debate is on. So he basically conceded to it. That's why I was trying to get him to say it again at the end.
I was like, he already conceded. I mean, what else do you want?
So this is their all-holy book coming from Allah, who is the all-knowing, who doesn't know what he's talking about in history. Amazing.
Mm-hmm. And again,
how's everybody? I'm not crying.
I know you were trying to be as unbiased as possible, Dre, but as I said, he threw out his 5 opening arguments, his contradictions that were within the Quran and history. You could have at least held him to him opening up 5 new arguments, because that means that Nosce had no contradictions to stand on, and the rebuttal was literally, Anas just saying, nah, that's historical, nah, I'm not going to answer. Yeah. Oh, that's a new argument. That's a new argument.
Nah,
I'm not going to answer
I think Dre...
So he just didn't answer anything. It's either it wasn't in the Quran.
Listen, brother, he conceded that what Nosce brought were contradictions. What else do you want? The debate was over at that point.
Mm-hmm.
you
Can
talking
we
about?
clip that? Because I
He
think everybody
conceded
missed
to it.
that.
Nosse did a good job because what Nosse did was like, all right, you conceded that there's historical contradictions, so Nosse did the right thing and began to throw out other contradictions, and all he said was, I'm not answering, I'm not answering, I'm not answering, I'm not answering. Cool, he could do that. He could absolutely do that. But guess what? He already conceded that what Nosse brought in the introduction was a contradiction. So I don't understand. Like, I'm not getting why you guys are upset with me. I saw it clear as day. I'm like, okay, this is cool.
No,
He
No,
called
no,
it
I'm
out.
not upset. No one's upset at you. I just think we're watching them whine and cry about everything and like insult these little like childish games, and we're not doing that to them. Like not once was Nosy was like, okay, bring the next question. That's fine. I'll give him my time. I'll answer it. But they like any little thing, they're like, that's not on topic. That's not this. That's not that. Drop the Christian and say something rude to them. But when the Muslim comes up, Nosy's respectful. Like, I think we just allow them to run the live a little bit. I think that's what I don't have an issue with what you did. I understand what you're saying, but I'm just
I
saying they
think
kind of
I think
cry
it's an
too
indictment
much.
against them, though, JJ. That's an indictment against them. That's not an indictment against us. It just shows the character across the board. That's all it is. I think
Well,
Nose
and I was
conducted himself like a gentleman, and that's that. And everybody can see the truth. And that's why it's so important for Christians to have decorum, even in the midst of disrespect, because it shows our character and our fruits as Christians.
Yeah.
exactly. And so what I did when I came up, he gave his own internal contradiction in himself. Because in the debate, he said, I don't care that there are historical contradictions in the Quran. Yes, there are. The things you've brought up are historical contradictions in the Quran. So then, when he had time to think about what he was saying during the heat of the debate, and then at the end, he contradicts himself. So he has his own internal contradiction.
Hey, can I give you my input on what I viewed Nosce? First and foremost, of course, Nosce, I believe that you won that debate. I believe that in that debate, Anas handed you the debate as soon as he agreed that it's a contradiction and that he just wouldn't address it. Him not addressing it is acknowledging it's a contradiction and does not have an answer for it. Therefore, he is not able to prove or substantiate that the Quran does not have any contradictions. He basically gave you the debate at that point in time, hands down. So that was the good side, of course, and the arguments that were very good arguments. I think that that you definitely used the right arguments at the right time. So good, kudos on you for the attacking that you did with Islam. I do truly believe that you won that debate, hands down. He handed it right to you, and Anas is just a kid and nothing but a disrespectful little snot. The way that he treated Little Deer after her question was just uncalled for, and I hope that Muslims actually tell him what he actually said to Little Deer was very disrespectful, because she wasn't being disrespectful to him. So he wasn't matching energy for energy or anything like that. Now, the only thing that I would say, because I give the good and the bad when I give my input, and the only bad that I would say is that maybe you could have explained some of the things that he brought up in the Bible a little bit better, but you did good in the explanation that you did. I think that maybe you didn't have enough time within your rebuttals to be able to address all five of those different contradictions and get into detail within each one of those five, which maybe had been lacking. So maybe more time in the rebuttals might have been better for you if they were going to do five different contradictions. I might have limited it to three, only having that much time for rebuttals, because there is a lot of information that you need to say at point in time. But again, you did do good, but I feel that you could have did better. But also, I think that you probably should have had more time to give the answer. But that's my input on the debate. Good job, man.
Hey, Chris, if I would have allowed Nosce, he said unlimited rebuttals.
I appreciate that critique, and I do accept it.
How's everybody doing?
Good. Hey, by the way, I gotta end this live soon. I actually gotta run to the airport, so I'm gonna let everybody get a last word in real quick before I end the live.
I just want to say one thing. Everybody's presupposing that the occasion in Mark and in Matthew is actually the same crowd, where it could have been repeated instances, different occasions. So I mean, that presupposition is just wild.
Yeah, I agree. Shake, you got something to say before I end the live?
No, that's okay. You can go ahead and end the live because I know you got to run.
All right. I'm not sure the lady. I don't understand Arabic. Butterfly. You got something to say? Hello.
I did send you a message though.
All right.
Thank you, guys. God bless you and love you all.
God bless you. God bless you. Be good. God
I
bless.
hope you're okay with how the debate went. I think it went well. I hope you agree. I think it was actually really good. I think the flow was good. We didn't have too many crazy interruptions, and I don't know how you feel, but I thought it was good. I thought it was pretty fair across the board.
Well, first of it, we agree that if Central came off mute, it's a concession. That was just in the beginning, and then all throughout the debate, he was trying to make up rules.
Yeah, that's why we had to. I mean, I think Central did a good job of telling him like he can't do that. So like he had to let you answer. That's why I didn't really too much interfere. But we did agree that me and Central would both moderate. Like we agreed to that. So I don't think him coming off mute was necessarily like to be biased. You know, I think he was just trying to clarify. So I don't think it was a bad thing. If he would have been trying to, I think, throw an alley oop, I would have said that then he was wrong for that for sure, 100%. But I don't think he was. I don't think he was being malicious with it. I think he was just trying to clarify. And I'm sure they're going to complain about me and say that I was unfair with Annis. This, you know how this is how it goes, bro.
Yeah, I
This
know
is
how it is. The kid got baked, and that's the bottom line. He got baked.
he conceded. No, say he conceded that the Quran had historical contradictions. That's you to me. That's a W. That's what you wanted. He conceded. Everything else was just cherry on top.
Can you download that and get it for me so I can put it on my YouTube?
100%. I'll send it to you.
Thank you, brother.
All right, brother. God bless you.